What's up YouTube, this is Joe from Zephyrwargames and I'm bringing to you guys a deck profile for Accell. So this is in preparation for the upcoming regulation battle that Bandai announced not too long ago, where you can only use decks that have at least 30 copies from a certain, what I like to call, family archetypes. This includes Accell, DM, the upcoming DM, the SOC, no, not SOC, Deep Savers, all, Nature Spirits, all those, Wind Guardians, yeah. So you can only use decks that fall in within those categories. You have to use at least 30 cards within those archetypes. The remaining 20 cards in your deck can be from outside those families. Obviously, your egg deck isn't affected by this. But yes, so if you want to have more information on that, do check the World Digimon TCG website, where it will have the regulation battle there and the rules and whatnot and when it's going to be starting on. So one of the decks that I'm thinking of playing is going to be Accell, and I wanted to a deck profile for you here. It's heavily inspired by what I've seen on YouTube and what I've been told by my mates and everything who also play Accell, with my own personal techs, and I'll be showing you another tech that I'm thinking of adding in a bit later on after the profile, so to show you guys what you can do with this kind of deck. So before I get into it, if you enjoy this, give us a like and subscribe down below. Ding that notification bell, because if you enjoy person's content here on YouTube, you don't want to miss out on that content, and that notification bell helps prevent that. All of the support is greatly appreciated, and thank you guys so much for doing so. So with all that said and done, let's get into Accell. So Accell's always been one that a deck that I've always been interested in playing, putting together. I had like the entire deck core just like to the side, ready to like be sleeved and everything like that. And thanks to this regulation rules, I actually had like a legitimate reason to put it together. So what we have here is 4 copies of Pinamon from BT20. Most of the deck is within the archetype from BT20, with the obvious level 7s being outside that set. So Pinamon is inherent of your turns when any of your Digimon with the Accell trait would be played. This Digimon may digivolve into an Accell trait for the cost reduction of 2. So this is your main egg. Obviously, you need to have this. Unfortunately, it is a green, which kind of like fiddles with your consistency options, but we find ways to mitigate that. But yeah, so hopefully we're going to get more support down the line, maybe like another coloured egg. That could be pretty good. But yeah, so far we have to play Pinamon. But if Pinamon's great, combo's very well with your option card, allowing you to on-play something and then progress with a stack afterwards. Moving forward, we have... Can I zoom out a little bit? There we go. I've got a bit more room now. So yeah, 4 copies of that. We have 4 copies of Falcomon. This is when this Digimon will digivolve into an Accell trait, reduce the cost by 1. Green, yellow, and can evolve on a Pinamon for 2. Pinamon for nothing, or any Accell trait for 0 as well. The inherent is just piercing. It's a nice little rookie. You know, one of the rookies that we have to play. The other one being 4 copies of Leomon. Can evolve for nothing on a Fremon, but can also evolve for nothing on an Accell trait. This is your on-play searcher, as on-play with your top 3 cards of your deck. Add a Digimon with Chaosmon in its name on the Accell trait, and 1 option card with the Accell trait. Return the rest to the bottom of the deck. The inherent is Barrier. These rookies are, you know, just... You have to play them, but they're also just naturally great for the deck. They tickle the boxes, cost reduction, and on-play search. Like, you know, what more could you want? The remaining 2 slots in the deck I'm playing is 2 copies of Ukamon. You know, we need more consistency in the deck, as, you know, we don't have much support. We've only literally got the 1 line of support, and that's pretty much it. So, you can go outside the archetype, obviously. You can utilize other Digimon can evolve from green. You can use maybe like another Falcomon if it can evolve off a Pinamon, that kind of thing. But, you know, if you're trying to like add too much from outside, you're going to have to like maybe change the eggs a little bit, and then you're not going to get that like consistency in terms of your stack climbing and the combination with like your option card. So I just went with Ukamon. Ukamon's just nice and generic, you know. Promote Ukamon or promote another Digimon. while Ukamon's on the board, and you can get a nice little top search for a Digimon card or a tamer. The moving on to champions, we're only playing 8. It's just literally the 2 lines. So we've got the Leomon here, and then we've got the Diatrimon here. So Leomon, both of these can evolve in an Accell trait for 2. Leomon is on play when Digimon one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 3000 DP for a turn, inherent is barrier. And Diatrimon is on play when Digimon suspend one of your opponent's Digimon, inherent is piercing. Just nice, good, consistent level 4s, you know, allowing you to climb up into your stacks. You know, just get all the effects that you need. Also, just being Accell trait helps. Level 5s and above kind of like differ a little bit. So I got 4 copies of Loader Leomon, can evolve an Accell trait for free. And then on play when Digivolving until the end of your opponent's turn, one of the Digimon can't activate when Digivolving effects and gets minus 3000 DP. The inherent is opponent's turn once per turn. Any of your opponent's Digimon attacks, you may change the attack target to this Digimon. A really strong level 5 there. I really like the freezing of opponents when Digivolving effects. As the game's progressing, we're getting much stronger and stronger when Digivolving effects just now naturally. So being able to just halt those for a turn as you're trying to get into the game, progress through your game, is very, very strong. Literally being able to turn off like a medieval gallant one if you're facing it is just by on playing this is fantastic. Then we got 2 copies of Chromon here on play when Digivolving. Suspend one of your opponent's Digimon, and then one of your Digimon gets plus 3000 DP for the turn. Then one of your Digimon may attack. This is like your more aggressive level 5. I've only got 2 copies of it here, and also the main attacking inherent. One of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 4000 DP for the turn. The reason I got for 2 of those is I wanted to fit in 2 copies of Shakumon. This is like a partition Jargress level 5. So DNA Digivolves from any level 4 vet. Black and yellow, so you know both our level 4s tick those boxes, which is fantastic. Partition obviously for black level 4s and yellow level 4s, but when Digivolving to your opponent's turn, this Digimon isn't affected by the effects of your opponent's Digimon. That's not even having to be DNA Digivolved. So if you just paid 4 to evolve on one of your level 4s, you're going to have a little stat that has some form of protection, which is great. But then if you do DNA Digivolve, place one of your opponent's Digimon with as high or lower level as the number of cards in their security stack at the bottom of their security stack. Really, really strong. And the inherent is just partition as well. It's fantastic. So if your big stack does die, you're going to have more bodies on the field because, spoiler alert, our level 7s do have partition. So you're going to be able to spawn 2 level 6s and 2 level 4s, which means you can just go off completely afterwards. It's absolutely fantastic. Moving on to the level 6s, we're having 3 copies of Bancho Leomon. So when this Digimon would be played, if you have a Digimon the Accell trait, reducing the play cost by 5, so it can come in for 7. On play when Digivolving, Digivolve to one of your opponent's Digimon, then one of their Digimon gets minus 5000 DP until the end of their turn. End of your turn, this Digimon and one of your other Digimon may DNA into a Chaosmon in the name in the hand, then that DNA Digivolve may attack. And the inherent is when your opponent's Digimon attacks, you may change the attack target. So it's similar, same effect inherent as the Loader Leomon. So the reason we got 3 copies of this and not playing 4, we should see later, we got a new support most recently. I got 2 copies of Rudamon. This is again your more aggressive line. So similar, same cost reduction for the on play of -5 as a bunch of Leomon, but on play when Digivolving, suspend all of your opponent's Digimon, and then one of your Digimon gets plus 3000 DP, then one of your Digimon may attack. So this is a very strong way to just, you know, if you have a stack, you can just snap this down, suspend all of your opponent's board, and then force the stack to attack. Get rid of something, then you can do the end of turn DNA Digivolve into a Chaosmon. The inherent is one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 4000 DP when you attack. The reason we reduced these cards down is because we have now 2 copies of Digimon Ace. So Digimon Ace is obviously an ace and has a 7 play cost. Can evolve on a D Brigade or an Accell trait for 3 memory, but you can obviously hand counter blast Digivolve for nothing. It has Scapegoat, and then which means that if this would die, you can delete something else to keep it in play. And then on play when Digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon, then delete all of their Digimon with the lowest play cost. It has an inherent of collision, which then means, you know, when you attack, you give all your opponent's Digimon block and then you have to block. Then moving into level 7s where, you know, the main big boss monsters are, we have 2 copies of Chaosmon from BT16. This guy can DNA Digivolve from a yellow level 6 and a black level 6. It has Barrier, Blocker, and Partition, yellow and black level 6s. When Digivolving, Digivolve free one of your opponent's Digimon. Then one of their Digimon gets minus 8,000 DP for the turn, and end of your opponent's turn. Trash the top card of both players' security stacks. So this is just going to be able to, the longer it stays on the field, the more you're going to be progressing in the game state in terms of security. But obviously you are also losing security as well. And then you also have barrier, so you have to keep in mind and just think, when do I need to keep this alive? Can I just let this go? Bear in mind, you do have obviously partition as well. And if you went off the Shackle one, you have even more partition. So you just got a little bit be wary with this guy. But being able to DD free one guy is absolutely crazy. The best Chaosmon obviously is the one that even Zephyrwargames is using, and that is Volderarm from BT20. So this has DNA Digivolve from a yellow level 6 and then either a green or black level 6. It has security tap +1 and partition for a yellow level 6 and a green or black level 6. When Digivolving, for each of this Digimon's level 6 cards in the stack, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon or Tamers, then gain 1 memory for each of their Digimon or Tame for each of your stacked level 6s. So you don't have to suspend. If you can't suspend, if you have 2 guys in the stack, because obviously you DNA, if you can't suspend two things, you're still going to gain to 2 memories. So do bear that in mind. The memory gaining isn't dependent on what you suspend. But then also, none of the Digimon or Tamers can activate on player effects and can't unsuspend until the end of their turn. So it just freezes your opponent's board, freezes what they can do, while also just, you know, aggressively attacking your opponent's security for 2 checks every turn. It's absolutely fantastic. And then lastly, for the level Digimon in the deck is the ultimate Chaosmon here. I do love the old art here. So it can DNA Digimon with any yellow or black level 6 and green or purple level 6. It has partition for the same colors. And then when Digivolving, if DNA Digivolving, you may place up to 2 level 6 cards from your trash as this Digimon's bottom evolution cards. Then for each of this Digimon's level 6 Digimon cards in the evolution source, return one of their opponent's Digimon to the bottom of the deck. Your turn if this Digimon has 4 or more level 6s in its sources. It gains security tap +3 and piercing. So this card is absolutely absurd. This is your ultimate game ender and your ultimate boss monster, you know, being ultimate Chaosmon. You really do go into it though as Volderarm and kind of Chaosmon kind of like just do enough as they are. If you wanted to like reduce maybe the Chaosmons to bump the ultimate Chaosmons, I would probably do so. And I wouldn't blame you for doing that. But ultimately, you want to mainly prioritize Volderarm because it just does so much damage in the current game state of the meta. But you still want to play the other ones. Moving on to Tamers, we're just playing a nice consistency one of TK, as well as another card later. But TK is just a great memory setup for this deck. Lets you search your security stack and add any card to hand. And if you do add a yellow, you get to recover 1. You know, it's just a strong mem setup. Being able to use your security as further consistency just really helps a deck like this. The other team in the deck is 2 copies of Analog Youth. Your stack does like to die a lot through our option card, which we'll get to in a minute. So being able to have this to get back in the game with an additional raising phase and additional memory, but also just being nice consistency as well. But being a white tamer as well that costs cheap to play, we can use Singularity of Chaos much more consistency and much more quickly. So what this card does is a 2-cost option. While you have a Digimon with the Chaosmon in its name or the Accell trait, you can ignore this card's color requirements. But having a white tamer obviously does help make this a bit more consistent. It has a security effect of gain 1 memory and then add this card to the hand. So like X antibody. But for its main effect, you may play a Digimon card with the Accell trait from your hand with the play cost reduced by 4, then place this card as one of your Digimon's bottom evolution cards. The inherent effect is at end of the opponent's turn, if this Digimon has Chaosmon in its name, trash your opponent's top security, and then this Digimon gets minus 30,000 DP for the turn. So you're probably thinking, why do I want to give my guy minus 30k DP? It's just going to die. Well, Well, because it's now got no DP, it's now going to get killed and checked by game walls, which means that when your guys have partition, you're actually going to be able to trigger the partition. So you're going to go use the Singularity of Chaos, go into one of level 6, go into your Chaosmon, spring your opponent's security. At the end of their turn, you're going to get minus 30k DP. The partition is then going to proc, spawning at your 2 level 6s, doing some damage with their on-play effects, and then coming back to your turn. If you still have the 2 6s, cool, swing, boom, DNA again, smack your opponent's face again. Like, it's just like a constant loop the more you have singularities in play. So this card's absolutely absurd. It's kind of like what makes the deck kind of like as strong as it is, in my opinion. I really do like this card. But for last options in the deck, we're just playing 2 copies of Superior Members. Now you can just play yellow members, as everything in this deck is primarily yellow. The reason I've gone for this is because Dark Digimon Ace isn't. So with Dark Digimon Ace being black and purple, I kind of wanted to have at least an option card to grab him as well as everything else, because to me he's equally as important as everything else, and I don't want to bottom deck it. So I've gone for 2 Superior Members, but again, you can go for yellow members if you want to. And for the last of the options, we're just playing 1 copy of Yellow Scramble. Everything in the deck other than these 2 is yellow. So being able to go into the go into your stack for a little bit less is, you know, very, very handy. But that, guys, is the main deck profile. I'll just quickly go through the option engine that I kind of wanted to maybe fit in this deck at some point. It's one that I've seen online. And it's taking 1 copy of the BT19 Zephyrwargames and 1 copy of Mega Digimon Assembly. So what Mega Digimon Assembly does is that while your opponent has a level 6 or higher Digimon in play, you can ignore a color requirement. But for 4 costs, you can 1 of your level 6 in play and 1 Digimon in hand may DNA into a level 7 into the hand. The security effect is return level 6 or higher Digimon from trash to hand and add this card to the hand. So the reason why this card goes is because obviously you're a higher stacked level 7 deck that does DNA. So being able to have this and not being able, not having to have the other guy on board makes things a little bit easier. But the reason why I want to combo it with Zephyrwargames is that when Zephyrwargames digivolves, you draw 2 cards, and then you can use a single color option that costs 5 or less from the hand without paying the cost. So you're essentially using Mega Digimon Assembly for 1 less, drawing 2 extra cards, and you have the level 6 already in the play because the level 6 is using your assembly for free. So the only reason for this engine to work needs is either your opponent to have a guy on board, or you have like an analog youth in play, a white team in play, so you can just use this, meet this card's color requirements. It's a nice little engine I saw another deck list using, and I really want to try it out at some point. We'll see how it goes. But if I were to take this in, I would probably either drop a bunch of Leo or a Volder to go into taking one of these and one of these. And to taking one of these, I'll probably just take out one of these. But yeah, that's the other little mini engine I was thinking of adding to this deck. If you know, and if you've been counting, this literally ticks the restriction rules here. Most of the deck is 30 cards of Accell. The rest of the deck meets the requirements. So if you wanted to just copy and paste this list or something similar, you'll meet the requirements already. But guys, I hope you enjoy this deck profile for Accell. I hope it gives you ideas on what you want to do with your own builds and what kind of text that you can utilize with this as well. I had a funny one actually with Fist of the Beast King. Every time I see a Leo one, I'm just like, ooh, can I fit Fist of the Beast King in? That could be pretty funny as well. Who knows? Maybe if I went for a more buncho ratio, maybe that could be a spicy tech. But guys, again, hope you enjoyed it. Like, comment, and subscribe. Till next time, as always, stay safe. And of course, happy dueling.